question sent in today, yeah. I've been with a girl for 4 years now. I love her to death, and I wanna be with her for the rest of my life. Only problem is I no longer believe in marriage. I finally expressed this to my girl and and cut the story short, she's leaving me.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Alright, we're gonna be giving you guys a review of BKCHAT's new Hotdesk. It was a banging episode, so I like that. I rate what BKCHAT are doing with this episode and this particular series they're going on with. Hey, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification of the uploads, baby. And for those of you returnees, you ain't got the minerals, you ain't got the minerals, you ain't got the minerals, yeah. Alright, cool. Let's get into the video. So, they started off with a question. Again, I want to thank BKCHAT. I think it's really great content that we're seeing now. And I can't wait for Thursday again to show us some great content. So, there was a question that was given to them. I'm going to read the question to you because we're going to break the question down because the clues are in what the person has said. Yeah? And we're going to really break it down, give you some real juicy stuff from this little short excerpt. You know, so we'll do some comprehension skills here. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you click that like, share, brother. Make sure that like, share. Alright, cool. So, being said, the English that's being used. Alright, cool. So he says, been with a girl for 4 years. Time. So this is an extensive relationship. Now, I want to just let you know that, time also doesn't necessarily mean quality of time. Time in quantity is different from time from quality. You understand? If you talk every other month for 4 years, it's still different from somebody who spoke every day for 4 years. You understand? And even though every day is a conversation quality. You understand? Do you know what I mean? Cool. So he's been with a girl for 4 years and wants to be with her for the rest of his life. So you want to be with this person for the rest of your life. Yeah? You think that they've got the qualities for you to be with them for the rest of your life. Okay, cool. But now the only problem is that you no longer believe in marriage. Now, marriage is a show of full commitment, yeah, that you want to be with this person for the rest of your life. So what's the problem between you wanting to spend the rest of your life with this person and marriage? Is it financial? Is it the fact that, you know what, you don't believe in saying vows in front of God? Like, what is it that is the problem? Because you now no longer believe, which means you believed at a point, or at least you accepted it at a point, yeah? Something has triggered you to no longer believe in it. Now, if you no longer believe in it, and that's the problem, that lets us know where we stand. At the moment, that means that your girl potentially believes in marriage and you do not, and that is a cause of friction between the two of you as to why it now says, I finally expressed this to my girl and she cut the story short, she's leaving me. So now she's leaving because of this problem. The problem is you don't believe in marriage no more, which means she probably potentially believes in marriage and there's a conflict. Now, before we get there, he says, I finally expressed this to my girl. Now, this means that this has been brewing for a little while. Yeah, you finally plucked up the courage to say the thing that's been on your mind for a little while. So this has been brewing. And when something's been brewing, oftentimes our actions, they leak our beliefs out little by little by little. So this girl's probably been seeing clues that you're not ready to commit. Right? And the reason why I say this as well, look, marriage, yeah, it's gonna sound strange and people might not like it, but look, the same way a girl feels like she needs a security, or not even girl or guy needs a security of the fact that what are we doing? What's the label we're putting on this thing that we're doing? Right? Why not just go with the flow? Why put a label that we're actually boyfriend and girlfriend? Why say we're exclusive? Why put those labels on? Why not just continue going as we're going? Why do I need to say you're my girl? The reason why we say that is because we need to put a ring fence, a boundary around what we're actually doing. Yeah? There needs to be an end goal to what we're doing. We're talking, buzzing and bazzing. We need to have an end goal. Now, when you get into a relationship, the end goal of that relationship, the buzzing and bazzing, for a lot of people, is marriage. Okay? So now, when you don't want to go down that lane, yeah, the equivalent of it is we'll just go around in circles like we were before we became boyfriend and girlfriend. So that's what then goes in the person's mind. Forget the religious stuff. We haven't even got there yet. We're dealing with the emotional relationship aspect of things. That the same way that a person needs confirmation of being in a relationship with you, I need to say to you, can you be my girlfriend? Rather than just going, do you know what, we're just going along as it is, and you should know I'm your girlfriend, or I should know that I'm your boyfriend. No, it needs to be expressed, because word is law. I want you to know this, word is law. That's why Adam in the Bible, in the Old Testament, in Genesis, had to say, this woman is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. The moment he said that, we can get later on saying, then two shall become one, and a man should leave his father and mother's home and cleave to his wife. Word is law. So now, whenever we're dealing with relationships, women, especially, listen to what I'm going to say. If he hasn't said what we're doing, you have absolutely free range to do what you're doing. He hasn't said it. Yeah, if he hasn't said that if he hasn't said that he knows what you're doing, like if it gets to a point where you realize, okay, we've been kind of going around in circles, we're not really sure at the moment. And it's natural, because when we first start talking, we're trying to figure out where we're going. And I remember I told you about the PEW, yeah? Position, expectation, wants. This is why this situation is even happening. Because PEW needs to be incorporated here. Position, expectation, wants. The position is, I'm in a relationship with you, and I'm in a relationship with you, and I like you. Cool, yeah? Maybe I love you even. It's been 4 years. My expectation of this relationship is to go to marriage. Yeah? Now, when that person expresses their want, now when she's saying, I expect this to go to marriage, yeah? And he brings his want, which is, I don't want it to go to marriage. You're at an impasse, as Ara said. We're at an impasse. We are at a crossroad, and it looks like we're going to have to part ways. Because the institute of marriage for some people is quintessential to having the ultimate sign of commitment to a relationship. And that's why I said to you that to understand how someone's mind works in terms of quintessential marriage being to their feeling comfort, security, and everything like that. Because the question might be, why should you get married? You know we're together already. And I would say that the same question it asks is that, well, why would you say boyfriend and girlfriend? The label, the word being law, shows your commitment. Do you get it? So here, like I said, we're gonna break this down a little bit, yeah? So we've got time, you've got the expressed desire, the problem, the marriage, the result, she's leaving, not left. I want to make this very clear. It says she's leaving me, not that she's left. So this is in a period of time where there's a period of talks, contracted talks, where it looks like she's going out the door. Maybe she said, I'm going, but you're still talking to her and you're still trying to work things out. So there's a period of time where you can still win this back. But we need to find out what the frick has caused you a trigger to you to stop believing in marriage. Because this result that we've got right now, she's not going to turn around. If she believes in it strongly, she's not going to turn around on the issue of marriage. So the only result is you have to change your mindset. If you said you want this girl, because her and this is where we come to, there are compromises and there are sacrifices in a relationship. When you come to a point of a sacrifice, when someone sacrifices themselves, there's death. There's blood that's spilled. Yeah? When you sacrifice, you lose something in that relationship. Big time. When you compromise, you come to a middle ground. Big difference. You can't make too many sacrifices in a relationship because you will die. You'll bleed out. So here's the thing. In this particular scenario, if marriage for her is a sacrifice to make, meaning that she cannot make that decision without dying, then she has a choice to make. Walk or stay. Yeah? And give up that dream. She's leaving, which means that she's not willing to give up that dream. Which means your only choice is either to change your mind, because you said you think that she's you want to stay with her forever, is to change your mind, or leave her alone. And let her be happy. Do you see? So, I want to break it down a bit more further. So I want to break it down this down. Relationships itself are built on intimacy, right? They're built on 6 axes of intimacy. You can probably say maybe 7 or even 5, whatever. You can break it down to more or less. But let me just break it down to you. They're built on emotional, physical, mental, sexual, experiential, spiritual, and the 7th one is financial. Yeah? And intimacy means personal relationship with mutual vulnerability. Vulnerability means to be exposed Do you understand? It means to be exposed, to be made naked. So when now we're talking about these formats, emotional, physical, mental, sexual, experiential, spiritual, financial, are you naked in those areas? Now here's the thing. When someone becomes naked in an area of intimacy, let's say, for instance, in this particular case, they're dealing with a mental and an emotional intimacy problem here of nakedness. She's laid it on the table that, listen, I want to get married, let's say, or she said, my belief is marriage, because belief comes underneath the mental aspect or even spiritual. Depending on what kind of belief it is. So she believes in marriage. Do you understand? She's made it very plain and very clear. She's unwrapped it. She's made it naked, made it clear for you, yeah? And then you reject it, yeah? Or you say you don't agree with it. You've rejected her. It's not just the idea, you've rejected her. Because that was part of her vulnerability that she made clear to you. You understand? So now we're at a situation where now she feels rejected by your action. And when people lack, because I'm confused. So if the person is your life partner, is your life partner, why wouldn't you surrender to marriage? What's the key thing? And the key thing here is this: the person also didn't say why they changed their mind on marriage, and that is a big clue as to where that person stands, because you should let us know, like, okay, this is why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. You know, the clarity in someone's decision often comes from the details they're able to give you. Yeah, the transparency and the honesty that person has often is often given to us in the details that you give to somebody. You know, and you see this when people want to try, and when they feel like they're gonna look bad, or if they're not comfortable with how they're going to look in a scenario, they tend to omit certain information. Do you get what I'm saying? So the key crux here is we don't know why this guy has changed his mind on marriage. Do you get me? But this thing is very clear. All I'm doing is trying to just exegesis and trying to bring some things out. But it's very clear. The only thing he can do is surrender to marriage, because she's not surrendering. She's not surrendering because she left. She's leaving. You understand? Then in relationships also there are 4 levels of attraction, which is interpersonal, physical, sexual, and spiritual. And then even amongst that we have 5 love languages, how we want to be loved, which is words of affirmation, acts of service, gifts, quality time, physical touch. And then we have our personality traits, which come through sanguine, phlegmatic, melancholic, choleric. Why am I mentioning all of this? The reason why I mention all of this is because the problem doesn't lie with personality. They're obviously working together. It doesn't lie in how they want to be loved. It doesn't lie in the attraction, because obviously that's there. It lies in the intimacy. And when people feel like they're no longer intimate on a certain level, they don't connect on a certain level on many areas, they feel like they got to leave. And with obviously, her idea of marriage, there's an expectation that's attached to it. And so this expectation, when it's not matched, when I say PEW, when it's not matched, there comes a problem. Because depending on how strong you believe in this expectation, or depending on how strong you stand on this expectation, like I said, it links to sacrifice or to compromise, it then donates an action. So him asking about, him giving this dilemma about the fact the girl is leaving, it's like, I don't have to even bring religion into it. I don't have to bring any of those kind of things into it, because at the end of the day, when it comes to our standpoints, there's hills that we can die on, and there's hills that we're willing to give up. And so the question we have to ask in this scenario is, are you willing, sir, to die on this hill? Or are you willing to surrender on this hill of marriage? Because it's not changing otherwise. Do you get me? And like I said, I want to focus on this point as well. That she says she's leaving, not left. And I think that's the most important thing. That she's leaving and hasn't left. Which means there's still hope. There's still chance. There's still chance for negotiations, contracted conversations. Do you get me? So I'm going to leave it there. And just say, listen, for that gentleman or anybody in this scenario, you've got to ask yourself that key question. Is this the hill I want to die on? If it is the hill I want to die on, that means it's a hill of sacrifice. You cannot give it up. If it's a hill that you can give up, then you can surrender that hill and you can compromise. and this is very, very key. What can you compromise on? And what is your sacrifice? Do not make your sacrifices compromises, because what will happen is you will regret it later on. You know, they made a point in the show about men oftentimes, oh, not men, someone, people making referral points to actually like, oh, you know, a guy saying, Neo's situation where Neo made his girl tie her fallopian shoes and then got with another girl and made her pregnant. So when you have sacrifices, look, you won't feel no way about the fallopian tubes if it's not a sacrifice. If you didn't really want to have kids anyway, no problem for you. But if you wanted to have kids, it's now a sacrifice you've made, and this person has left you, got with somebody else, and now you feel bad, and now you feel like you're dead. Why do you feel like you're dead? Because you made a sacrifice. Simple. So guys, I'm gonna leave it there. I appreciate BKCHAT for the conversations. Very, very good. You know, and I enjoyed the back and forth. All I'm gonna say as a conclusion to that actually is that, look, when people are talking, I think I made this comment in the comment section with Lani and stuff. Nothing personal. It's just that when people are having a deep conversation on a mental, intellectual level, there's a way that you approach conversations. You know what I'm saying? There's a time in the season for jokes. And there were several points where Lucas was talking and she interrupted, and I was like, we're having a serious conversation here where people are making some serious points. Not that they can't be jokes, but there are certain jokes that aren't jokes. There was a part where she made a comment about, you know, about my man, if I want a baby, he has to give it to me. He can't deny me. And it was like, it was on the line of rapey, like on the line. Sorry, rapey isn't even being nice. It was a line of rape, like, because look, you can't. I don't know if you can call it rape, but it's along those lines.
The next nigga I date, if I'm ready to have a kid, I don't need to ask for your permission. I'm getting pregnant, and listen, you are marrying me. If you love me, you are marrying me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're entrapping somebody and you think that's a joke to make, or it's comfortable. If that was a man making that joke, that would be something that would all be cussing at. And it's unacceptable. That's what I'm talking about. It's them type of behaviors there that are unacceptable. And then people can't really take you seriously. Listen, that's what I'm saying about Lani. It's not that she's a bad person or anything like that. It's that then people can't really take you seriously. Now, someone's going to say, well, in person, I'm not like this. It's like, so then why are you asking for camera? Like, because you're forgetting that many people are watching this. So we form an impression about you, and then you're waiting for us to get to know you before you say, that's not how I really am. By then it's too late. Your first impression counts. You understand? Your first impression counts. So we got to put our best foot forward as a community, as people, as individuals. You know what I'm saying? So guys, hey, make sure you like, share, subscribe. I hope you liked this review. Hey, remember I told you, listen, don't make sacrifices, you know. You can compromise, but don't make sacrifices. Is this the hill you want to die on? Appreciate you guys. Still up, saluted.